here with yet another video for Marvel Snap. Today we are gonna talk about the next weekly card that is about to come out, Arishem. Now the question is this a must-have, yes or no? Well, I got two words for you. Hell yeah! Why? Well, let's dive into it. And here he is, Arishem. Now, let's have a look at the mechanics first of all. At the start of the game, +1 max energy. So let's split that in two. 1 max energy. That is like a free Sarah at the start of your game. That is gold right there in your hands. It couldn't be any better than that. But part 2 is like shuffles 12 random cards into your deck as well, meaning you'll be ending up with 24 cards, meaning you just don't know what cards you're gonna pull. It could be like very awesome, but it could be like very garbage as well. Now let's have a look at the pros and the cons. So first, let's go for the pros. Okay, we're starting with 2 energy instead of 1. It's always nice because at the first turn you can already put a 2 cost card down. It gives you advantage, of course, of your opponent. Just right there. Then an early Sarah, meaning, yeah, of course you can ramp up your game very fast, because on turn 3, well, maybe even on turn 2, if you are able to pull out Quinjet, then you could be turn 2 already like a 4 cost card right there. Like Crossbones, like Mrs. Marvel, like just anything whatsoever. That gives you a very tall length of advantage, just right there. You will never have the same game. If you like a challenge, this is going to be it. 24 cards. Obviously you will not pull all 24 cards, so it's going to be very randomly what cards you're going to be pulling, so the challenge will be very high. So if you like the challenge, this is the card to make it happen. It's of course a unique playstyle, as you have to adjust constantly. Well, this will get like the pro players divided from the normal players. Just call it like normal players, because you need to adjust constantly, and that is where it comes. You just don't know. It's really unique. It's gonna be, well, things well you have never seen before. Of course, we are going to get 12 extra cards, so we have a lot to choose from, right? I don't need to explain that any further. Come on, how can we forget this? The most excited card in the whole Snap history until now. I think for the whole year to come as well. This is just it. I'm so excited about this card. I can't wait to have it in my hands tomorrow. I just can't wait. So this is going to be so awesome to play. But of course we do have our cons as well, right? The cons. Now the first one is going to be hard to plan your game, as the RNG will be insanely high. Just imagine when you play the game in a normal situation with only 12 cards and you just do not pull out those cards you hardly need to win out the game. Well, 24 cards, that is going to be a challenge. So hold on to your horses for that, I warn you. Not knowing what cards you're going to get could be totally worthless. It could be very good. It could be somewhere in between. You just do not know. You don't know. Maybe you should make a deck with cards you do not want, then you are only able to pull out cards that you would love to have, right? Just a thought, try it out. I'm certainly going to do that though. Now it's going to be risky and most likely not knowing to snap. Why? Because normally normal situations you should be able to snap on turn 3, latest on turn 4, because if you snap on turn 5, obviously the opponent knows that you're going to be winning 100% or 90% at least, and he's going to be running away. If you want those cubes, you need to snap on turn 3 or turn 4, as we all know. This I put down in red because watch out for those Dark Hulk decks. That is, I think, 100% a loss for you. 100%. 24 cards? Yeah, the points are gonna dripping in for the opponent for sure though. Now I suggest to counter that, you should take along Rogue if you're gonna play Arishem. That is what I'm gonna do, and I think most of the people will do this who did a little bit of theory crafting about this card, right? Now, is it gonna be viable for every deck? We just don't know. Well, I would say no. And one card I can think of is already Mr. Negative. I think Mr. Negative is not gonna be very viable for Arishem decks. But other than that, I think you should try every deck that you have right there. It's, well, who knows? It's for us to try it out, correct? Now let's have a talk about the must-have cards. The first card that I had in mind is going to be Queen Jet. Why Queen Jet? Because it has an ongoing ability, and cards that didn't start in your deck, they will cost you 1 less with a minimum of 1. Now this means you have 12 cards that will give you 12 cards minus 1 cost right there. Could be snap worthy already though. I think if I pull down this on turn 1, I'm gonna snap it already. Now the second card that's gonna be a must-have is going to be Phantos. Why Phantos? Well, we all know lately with all those Silver Surfer decks, the Unreveal ability, it gives each card in your deck minus 1 cost or plus 2 power. Of course we are looking for the minus 1 cost. Imagine turn 1 Queen Jet, turn 2 Phantos. What possibilities that is going to give us. We can like float the board with so high cards. We just ramp it up from the beginning and there's just no stopping by. The next card that you should take along is going to be Mockingbird. Why Mockingbird? As we all know, we have 12 random cards into our deck, and Mockingbird ability is it will cost you 1 less for each card that is in play which did not start in your deck. So meaning if you have down 5 cards of those 12 cards that didn't start in your deck, meaning Mockingbird will be for free. The next card is a little bit of a defense. A little bit of a defense against all those Dark Hawk decks that will come flopping out of the ground like mushrooms. Of course, we need Blob, 100%. Take it along, you will be needing it. On the other hand, it's a very awesome card as well, because as we all know, it gives an on-reveal ability. It merges all cards from your deck into this until it gains 15 or more power. But it has an ongoing ability, it can't be moved whatsoever. That doesn't matter. You should be able to be priority already with all those cards. So the next card is also going to be a little bit of a defense against all those Dark Hawk decks, and then I'm talking about Absorbing Man. Exactly. And why Absorbing Man? Yep, here he comes. We're gonna absorb Blob, and because it has an on reveal, if the last card that you have been played has an on reveal ability, this will copy his text. Now that's actually a second Blob right there. Again, all those cards from your deck down, meaning a good counter for the Dark Hawk decks right there. Now those are the 5 must-have cards that you're really going to be needing to make Arishem working like crazy for you. Just right there. It's gonna be insane. Like I said, I'm so excited to play. One more day to wait. Now, if you're playing a ram deck like this, you would love to have a little bit of defense along the line. So let's talk about defense cards. Now, the first defense cards that I had in mind is going to be armor. We all know armor has an ongoing ability, which means cards that are played on armor can't be destroyed unless it gets Enchantress in play. But even for that card, we have a counter, which will be my second card. It's gonna be Cosmo. By Cosmo, it also has an ongoing ability, which means all unrevealed cards won't happen here. Easy as it is. Now, the last and not the least defense card that I will take along the line will be Sierra. Why Sierra? Of course, we are going to be playing so many 6-cost cards and we need to defense them because Sierra ability has also ongoing. Your 1 and 6-cost cards can't be destroyed, meaning Queen Jet will be 100% safe and all your 6 cards will be 100% safe. Right there. So ramp it up and snap it down. So before we are going to talk about our ramp up cards and cards that we should take along, I have one more good idea. I don't know if it's gonna be working, but I think it's gonna be a very good idea though. So why don't we gonna go back for a lockdown situation, but not with Green Goblin, but with Hobgoblin on, and finish it off with Professor X. That's gonna be a 10 points difference right there, and that could win us already 1 location, and then we only need to ramp up to other locations, right? I'm certainly gonna give it a shot though. But talking about the ramp up cards, we need cards with high valuta, high power. That is all about ramping it up, right? So what other cards are gonna be very good for that? Obviously we have Maximus, 2 cost with 6 points, which we could be able to down it already on turn 1, you never know. Of course we are gonna go for Gladiator, another 8 points, and could kill a card from the opponent, which is a very good thing to go for. Then we should have Priority, where we can use our Crossbones, another 10 points on an location. We could go for Cool Obsidian, but we can only go for that one if we have a 1-cost card down. But come on, 12 random cards, that should be at least one 1-cost card, right? Well, we'll never know. Then we have CrAzY. CrAzY we can use to change some cards when it's needed. We also have Dr. Octopus, so we can lock down a location from the opponent. I suggest you take along Shang-Chi to finish that location off in the end turn. We could go for Legion, also a very good choice. Hey, you might need that Legion again if they try to lock you out for a location, you never know, right? Blink to pull out a high power card out of your deck just right there. Doom to ramp up all the other locations as well, and of course to get the cost of Mockingjay down again. Blob for the counter of our Darkhawk decks. Then we have of course Sasquatch. You never know how much cards you could lay down on turn 4, which could well get reduced the cost of Sasquatch, I'm sorry. And of course Red Hulk is also must-have card. I mean, Red Hulk also boosts himself up if the opponent can't lay down a turn or 2, you never know. So these are all the ramp up cards. I think these are the most important ones to go for in the beginning, but you could swap around, you could change around. That is what you're gonna do. That is also what I'm gonna do. We don't know how this is gonna be, how this is going to turn out, what card is gonna be the best. Is this going to be a meta? Even that we don't know, but I don't think so, to be honest. But we never know, right? The meta changes so hard lately, so we have no clue whatsoever. I mean, we just need to check it out. Other than that, I think we have, well, talk about the most important thing of our new card, Arishem. It is a fantastic card. Like I said, I'm very excited to play. One more day to wait for that card, so me together with you, we are going to wait for that, and we are going to ramp it up. We're gonna snap it up, we're gonna go for it, and we're gonna blow it up. That's what we are gonna do with this whole game. It's gonna be higher mountains, what we never going to expect, and we're going to be seeing so many new things, and that is exactly what I can't wait for that. Other than that, I say to you, happy snapping, and to the next time.